Okay, so welcome to the South Korea information session for the summer 2023 study abroad program. My name is Megan, and I'm the study abroad coordinator here at Green River College, and we are organizing this program together with other community colleges in Washington State. And this is the first time that we're offering this program in this location. But the nice thing is that it's been running beforehand through the host university, which is called Sogong University, located in Seoul, in the capital of South Korea. So we'll go over the broad strokes, the main details, and then we'll dig into the more the finer details in a moment. So this takes place during the first 4 weeks of summer. So our spring quarter here at Green River ends in mid-June, and this program starts June 26th in Seoul and lasts for 4 weeks. So if you're interested in going, you would need to submit an application by May 12th, and your payment for the program fee would be due no later than June 2nd. So on this program, you'll take 2 classes. One class would be a Korean language class, and they have beginner, intermediate, or intermediate advanced levels available. So if you've never taken Korean before, it's not a problem at all. You'll be in the very beginner class. Your second class, you get to choose from a list of 7 different classes, and they're all taught fully in English. So you don't need to worry about knowing Korean to participate in those classes. On page 2 of this flyer has the list of 7 classes that are available down here in the lower right. So a couple of these classes, if you see the and sign, the ampersand, that means it's a common course ID number that all Washington State community colleges and 4-year universities recognize as a standard course number, and it transfers no matter what. So a couple of those are available through this program. That's the Sociology 101, Gender, Race, and Class, also a Statistics class, which counts as Math 146, and a Politics International Relations class. That's Politics 203. If you don't see the ampersand next to it, it's not a common course. These ones are History 194 or Political Science 194. Those are special topics classes, meaning, yes, they're politics, but they have a really special focus. And in this case, it's on Korean history or Korean politics. So that's not a common class that every college or university teaches, but our college, is still happy to give you academic credit for it, knowing that it has that special area of focus. So I'll pause right there. Does anyone have any questions about the classes?
No. Okay. Oh, I actually have one.
Okay.
So in CTC link, sociology and 101 is I think it says introduction to sociology, but there's also another class in CTC link that says, I think, intersections of gender, race, and class. Mm-hmm. So would it be that class, or would it be the
yeah, great question. So it's going to be the second one. So it's not intro to, right? If it's social, is intro social 100?
It says AMES 103.
Oh, that's a different distribution area. AIMS, that's American Minority and Ethnic Studies.
Oh,
okay. So this is a SOC, SOC.
So it would be introduction to sociology, because I'm looking at it right now. It says introduction to sociology.
And is the number and 101?
Yes.
Yeah. So then that will be your correct one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just called Gender, Race, and Class in Korea at the Sogang University. That's what they call it.
Oh.
But here it's going to transfer or show up on your transcript as Soc 101.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I have a question about the classes.
yeah,
Um, if we do the whole studying abroad thing, does that mean that if we were to want to take an online class, like a completely online class, during the quarter, but not in Korea, is that possible? Or
that's another great question. Yes, it is possible to take a third class if you wanted to online. So you do need to take 2 classes when you're on this program in Korea. But if you felt like you needed to or wanted to take a third class during summer quarter, you could do that. I don't know if
Okay.
I recommend it personally because of the time, you're going to be in a different time zone and you're going to be really busy doing activities, making friends, sightseeing, and doing your coursework. You're going to be in class for like 4 to 6 hours a day. So it's going to be a lot going on. I know that summer quarter at Greenriver starts the first week of July. So technically you would have like 1 week to kind of settle in
Mhm.
Korea before you started that. So yes, it is allowable. And especially if you really need to fit in those credits, to graduate on a certain timeline. However, I don't know that I would personally recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Other questions about the classes? These are really wonderful questions. All right. So we'll continue on then. Of course, we can revisit any topic if we want to later. So basically, you're going to be in a neighborhood in Seoul that is surrounded by other universities. So Sogang University is a private university. It has a kind of Jesuit tradition, which means it was founded by Catholic folks, but it doesn't mean that there's a real strong emphasis or requirement to learn or talk about religion. It just means that that's sort of the history of it. If you're familiar with Gonzaga University in Eastern Washington, that's also a Jesuit university. So this picture here on the left in the middle of your screen with the greeneries on the street, that is of the Sogang campus. So you can see in the background that there's a lot of tall buildings, and you can see it's really in the center of a city in an urban environment, but there is still, some greenery. It's very, nicely well maintained. If you go out what they call the back gate from campus, there's sort of like a street, and it's full of little sort of restaurants where you can get quick takeout food that's really affordable and really delicious. That's a common thing in Korea and it caters to college students. So it's affordable. It's really quick. It's easy to get to. It's kind of a nice cultural experience that we don't have around here in our community colleges. On the campus, they have a dorm building. It's very large. In fact, it's 12 stories high, and it is dedicated for international students. So Sogang University does have Korean students who study there, but they also attract international students from all around the world. So this program is not just going to have our students on it from Washington, but other English-speaking students from around the world are invited to participate, and they'll be there and they'll be living in those same dorms with you or next to you. So the dormitory has air conditioning, which is great in the summer. It also has a fitness center, laundry facilities, a kind of public lounge area. It's going to have in each of your room, you'll have a roommate. So you'll be sharing your room with probably one other person. but you'll each have your own bed, your own desk, chair, a place to hang your clothes, internet hookup, and bathrooms and showers. I don't know 100% if those bathrooms are private or not. They may be more like dormitory style bathrooms. So in the program, like I said earlier, you'll be in class several hours per day because we're having to fit in 5 credits or 50 hours of time within 1 month. Normally, you would take that much in a whole quarter, which is 12 weeks long. So it is going to be kind of intense in taking up a lot of your time, but they also balance that with fun activities in the evenings or on Fridays or on the weekends. So you have the opportunity to participate in a weekly field trip, which will be scheduled as part of the program. Twice a week, they have local Korean students who participate as sort of your buddy, in that they'll have some activity to do together to get to know each other, exchange information about your cultures, or even practice language with English and Korean. They also have a couple of clubs that you can join, and they meet, I think, once or twice a week as well. So they have a good amount of activities and trips that you'd want to do anyways if you were visiting on your own, and then they, build it into the program for you. So those trips and activities should really complement the classes that you're taking so that it's not just an academic experience, but a cultural one. All right, just these details at the bottom here. You do need to be at least 17 years old to go. You do need to have taken at least 12 college level credits before you go. So if spring quarter is your first quarter, that's okay, as long as you're going to complete and pass the classes with at least a 2.5 GPA before you go. Running Start students can participate, and I know this was the question. However, the Running Start tuition waiver is not available to use in summer. So for all Running Start programs across Washington State, they only pay for tuition during fall, winter, and spring quarters. So if you're wanting to do this program, you would have to pay for that tuition and all the program fees 100% yourself. So you would not be getting that tuition waiver assistance from your school district. If you are not a Running Start student, but you use financial aid, you can use that financial aid to help pay for your tuition and the program costs if the classes that you select to take are counting towards your degree path. So say you chose Social 101 and the Korean language class. So you need to have space in your education plan for humanities, that's the Korean language, and social science, which is the sociology class. So I'm going to pause there. Kaylin, did I answer your question about Running Start?
Yep, thank you.
Okay, sure thing. All right. While we're down here at the bottom of the page, we might as well talk about the program fees, because I know that's super important to know about. The program fee that you see at the top, the Program Plus dorm fee, that is paid directly to Sogong University. So once you apply and you're accepted to the program, you're going to pay that online through a website, and it's going to be actually paid in Korean currency. So that's why there's an asterisk next to it, because it may not be that exact dollar amount. Currency rates change every day, so that could fluctuate just slightly depending on the exchange rate that the day you pay. But that covers your dorm fees for your room for the whole month and all of those activities, excursions that I talked about. If you're wanting the 10 credits for the classes to count on your transcript at Green River, you need to pay that tuition to Green River College, and that is $1,000. So these are two separate bills. You're going to pay the $2,910 directly to Sogong, and this tuition you'll pay to Green River. There's also an administrative fee and a scholarship fund fee that we charge, and that's for our work to set up and coordinate the program from the study abroad office. And the scholarship fund goes into a pot of money that then we would turn around and issue scholarships to students. So for a program like this, we do try, or we do hope to try and give out $500 scholarships, just one of them to among the students who apply for this program. So say 10 students from Green River and other Washington community colleges apply and pay for the program. Out of those 10, anybody would be welcome to apply, and then one student would be awarded a $500 scholarship that you could use as spending money on the program. Okay. Obviously, you need to get to Korea. So you do need to pay for your airfare round trip to there or wherever your final destination may be after the program ends. Airfares have been kind of all over the place since the pandemic. So my estimate right now is that it could cost around $1,300 round trip, but you never know. You could get a super great deal and it could be less than $1,000, especially if you're willing to take a layover and maybe stop in another country for a few hours on the way there, which is, something to do if you're a comfortable traveler. So all students will be traveling there independently, but if we have multiple students in our group from Washington, I'm happy to share, itineraries with the other students so everybody knows what flight each other is taking in case you want to coordinate to arrive. You do just need to arrive the day before the program. And then Sogang University has offered to pick up our students from the airport. And if you're all arriving roughly around the same time, then they offered to send a van to get everybody and bring you back to the dorm all together. So you don't have to worry about finding your way there. Although it is quite easy, I'm told, on public transportation to get there from the airport. It's probably would take about an hour to get there on public transportation. All right, next item on the cost list is health insurance. So we do require, and they require, that you carry travel health insurance. So this is just temporary insurance for the 4 weeks in case you get sick, injured, or in an accident while you're in South Korea. You wouldn't want to be stuck paying thousands of dollars of bills. So there are websites, companies that offer temporary health insurance, and we can help students find and pay for that. I estimate it would cost maybe around $75. It depends on your age, the location you're going to, and how long you're going to be there for. All right. The meal plan that you see listed there, originally they told us that students would have the opportunity to buy a meal plan to eat at their cafeteria in the dorms. But last week I got an updated email from our partners, and they said, unfortunately, the cafeteria is probably going to be closed during the month of the program. So that meal plan is not really going to be an option for you. So you will be needing to buy your own food. But as I said before, there are all those kind of takeout restaurants or street vendors who sell food right behind the campus. They've also told me that there is basically a little grocery market, like 2 minutes walk from your dormitory. So
Do they have a kitchen?
do they have a kitchen? I don't think there is a kitchen, but I think they probably have microwaves and perhaps maybe like a hot burner. I can ask about that.
Yeah, because if we have to get our own groceries and everything,
Yeah.
but we can't cook our own meals, that would be hard.
Yeah, in the dormitories, oftentimes what I've seen is more like a communal kitchen for the whole floor, or maybe 3 floors would share a kitchen, and there would be a refrigerator, that everybody could use. So let me follow up and ask my contact about that, because I agree that that would be really helpful. I will say though, that in South Korea, food is a lot cheaper than it is in the United States, and sometimes it can actually be cheaper to eat out, but I know that that's not everybody's preference, especially for me for breakfast. Like I would just want to eat a yogurt or an oatmeal. Like I don't need to go to a restaurant and eat. So let me follow up and ask about kitchen facilities in the dorms. All right, so my total estimate for the amount of money that you would have to spend on the program is around $5,722. Like I said, that figure could change depending on what kind of airfare deal you get and the currency exchange on the day you pay the program fee. Okay, so any questions about the cost?
The cost, is it just what you've estimated and not what we have to pay? Like the total estimate, that's 5,000 we have to pay for the tuition and the program fees, right?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure I understand what is your question?
Like the program cost, you
Yeah.
estimated the airfare and all that, but that's just, it's like not fixed, right? So that's something
Exactly,
that we have
yeah.
to pay on our own. So what is it that we exactly have to pay directly to Green River and the college?
Yeah,
And the
so
college there?
if you're looking at my shared screen, any cost that's not in parentheses is a fixed cost. So the $2,910, that's the program and dorm fee. That's a fixed cost, although it will fluctuate based on the exchange rate. Your tuition of $1,000 to Green River, that's a fixed cost. The $300 admin and scholarship fund fee is fixed cost. The rest of it is estimates. So airfare, health insurance, food, those are estimates. So
Okay.
that would be 3910 plus 300 is $4,210.
Mhm.
That would be the fixed cost.
Okay.
Great. That's a good question too, as you think about, the minimum required. And then I do always recommend that students, when you study abroad, bring some spending money, so that if you want to buy t-shirts or souvenirs for your family, or if you want to go to a special theme park, that's not included in the program and requires admission fees, or you want to ride the metro all over the city every weekend or every night, you do need to pay for that. So I would say it's a good idea to plan to bring at least $1,000, if not more, just for spending money on top of, your food. All right. So I'm going to switch over to, this is a more detailed brochure that was created by Sogang University, and it talks a little about them as an institution and more details about the program, including the calendar, the schedule, the daily activities. So as I mentioned, you would be combined with other students from around the world who sign up for this summer program. See, this talks a little about the history of the college. The university was founded in 1960, so they've been around for a while. They are really well known actually for their Korean language program. Of course, lots of universities in Korea teach Korean language, but Sogang University is one of the, I would say, most well-known, and a lot of people actually use their textbook to teach from. They are about the same size as a community college in that they have about 8,000 students, and they have graduate and undergraduate students who study there. They partner with a lot of other universities around the world. So as I mentioned, students may be coming from other countries to participate in this program. It wouldn't be just Americans who are there. So you can see they have partnerships with Europe, Latin America, Africa, and other countries in Asia. So that will be a great, international experience as well. So this map shows that where the university is within the city. And up here on the right, upper right corner, it's really cool to see each of these squares is a metro station entrance. So in the middle is Sogang University. And basically on all 4 sides, there's a metro entrance. So the top 2 go on the green line, and then you have access to the blue line or the brown line, which is great because those lines are going to be going in different directions, which means you can easily get pretty much anywhere in the city from that campus. It's pretty unusual to have access to so many different lines. I mean, imagine if we had 5 different bus lines servicing your community college. That would be pretty great. So just to show the ease of getting around and how centrally located the city is. This picture on the left is from the campus. It looks like a little coffee shop on campus. They have some pictures of activities that students are doing outside of class. So here's the actual program calendar for this summer. So June 25th is your check-in day. So I think on the flyer I showed you before, it said June 26th was the starting date. That's the day of orientation. So you do need to plan to fly in and arrive on June 25th. If you arrive before that, you may not be able to check into your dorms yet. You might have to get a hostel or a hotel. So June 25th is the day that they'll let you in and check you into your dorm room. 26th, you'll have orientation, and then right away on the 27th, you'll start classes. And they have a welcome dinner planned for everybody on the second day. And then you'll see every Friday there's a field trip planned. And then every Saturday and Sunday are no class. So as usual, your weekends will be free time, which you should plan to spend some of that time doing homework. And the rest of the time, you are free to explore the city on your own. You can go independently, or you could go with some of those Korean buddies. If you wanted to hang out together, I'm sure they would be excited to show you around the city. In week 2, you'll have a midterm test, followed by another field trip and another weekend. And then week 3 will just be classes every day, Monday through Thursday. And then they have planned an overnight field trip for you, July 14th through 15th. I'm not sure where it's going to. It will be a surprise, I guess. Then you have your final week of classes. You'll take a final exam, and then you'll have the closing ceremony on that Friday. And Saturday, July 22nd, will be checkout day. So if you're planning your flights, you'd want to purchase your flight to arrive June 25th and depart July 22nd. If you want to, you can spend extra time in the country before or after the program. But that will be completely up to you to arrange your transportation, your housing, your meals. We can't help you with that, but that is an option that you have. So it's not like you must leave the country on July 22nd. If you want to stay for a week and travel around, you can, but you're totally responsible for your own activities and costs. All right, I wanted to show you the class. Yeah, so here was the class hours. If you can see in the middle of this page, every Monday through Thursday, you'll have the morning class, which I think will be the Korean language class, and that goes from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Obviously, they'll give you a couple short breaks. You're not just going to go 3 hours straight. And then you'll have a lunch break for 1 hour. And then you'll have your afternoon class from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So that would probably be your elective class, like the history, the politics, the sociology, whatever your second class you chose. I imagine that one is going to meet in the afternoons. So you are going to be in class 6 hours a day, 4 days a week. So just let that sink in. It's a lot of time. It is a big commitment. So it's more intensive than what you're used to here. This is meant for a semester school. So when they talk about 3 or 6 credits, that doesn't really apply to us because our classes are 5 credits. So I've already cleared with our departments that you'll be getting 10 total credits, 5 for each class that you take on the program. So I'll go back up. So this is the fun part. Outside of class, like I said, they have the buddy activities. So they'll take you around to visit various or famous, well-known places in Seoul. And that will happen every Monday and Wednesday afternoons. And so it could be any number of, amusement places, activities, cultural sites, places that you'd be wanting to go, but you'd get to go with a group of Korean students. Then optional are the club activities. Like I mentioned, they have a photography club, magic performance club, and a sports club. And those meet every Tuesdays and Thursdays after class from 4 p.m. on. So you'd be integrated with other Korean students who are members of those clubs, but it's totally optional. If that's not your thing, if you're not interested, if you want to go to your dorm and sleep, or if you want to go walk around on your own, you can do that. So it's just an option if you want to participate. As I mentioned in the program schedule, every Friday is going to be the field trips. And these are probably with the whole entire group. So all the students participating in the program will travel together, even if they're in different classes than you. So you'll have the opportunity to go to probably the famous palaces or temples, experience what it's like to see a historic Korean village, see the clothing or the food. So these look like some examples of those excursions and activities. All right, on this page is a little more information about the dormitory. Like I mentioned, it's their international dormitory and it's right on campus. So you just roll out of bed, walk across campus, go to your classroom. Yeah, it does say here that they've got a public refrigerator and microwaves. So I will ask though if they have any other type of cooking, like usually it'd be like kind of a hot plate situation that you could put a pot and like boil water for rice or pasta. Hopefully they will also have that available for you.
And if they don't have it, could you also ask if we would be allowed to bring it one of our own?
I will ask that. Yeah. Yeah, probably like if you might be able to buy one, in the city. Okay, so laundry, I don't know if the laundry is free or if you have to pay to do the laundry, but usually laundry costs just a couple dollars to do a full load. So I would encourage you to not bring too many clothes, just plan to wash your clothes so that you have space in your suitcase. It will be a double room. I asked them how the roommate placements are made. They said that they will ask you to fill out a dormitory application form, and they will ask on there, if you happen to know anyone who's also doing the program, you can request to be a roommate with them. Or if you have any certain preferences about lifestyle, like usually those kind of questionnaires ask you, do you stay up late? Are you messy? Are you neat and tidy? What are your hobbies? Do you like loud music? And they use your answers to try to match you with a good roommate. Obviously, it's not a perfect system, but it is only 4 weeks of your life. So, you get who you get, but hopefully it'll be a great experience and you'll make a great new friend. If not, you just have to sleep in your room and you'll have lots of other people to interact with and socialize with through the program. Any questions about housing or roommates?
I think that's
Okay, they told me they do not provide bedding. So when you get there, you do need to purchase sheets and towels, but that they will help you get them, basically. They said, we'll find a bedding agency to provide them to you upon check-in. So it doesn't sound like it's going to be too hard for you to actually obtain them, and I don't think they will be terribly expensive.
bedding is in the sheets
Yeah, sheets, blankets,
and
pillow,
pillows.
towel. So no, there'll be a mattress, but that's it. Kind of like here at Green River College in our CCA dormitories, right? We just have a mattress. We don't provide sheets,
Mhm.
pillows. So you will have to buy those when you arrive or bring them with you. They also do not provide soap or shampoo, conditioner. You will have to bring your own or buy your own. They said there is a convenience store right outside the dormitory where you can buy those things if you want to, or of course you can bring them from home. Okay, so that's information about the housing. There's some pictures. I imagine one of these buildings, maybe the one in the middle, would be the dormitory building itself. And then as we saw over here on the left, it's kind of hard to see, but that looks like a kind of coffee shop, cafe. This is a picture of an actual dorm room. So you can see there's 2 beds on either side with 2 desks and then some cubby holes. A shower is also pictured on the page. So they look like very clean, very modern. You know, standard, like you would expect a dormitory in the United States to look. The rest of the information, I will tell you that, so in order to apply for the program, you're going to apply from our wixa.com study abroad website. So you would go to, so say you were on the Green River Study Abroad webpage. Once you decide you're ready to apply, you're going to come down here to the lower right and click Study Abroad application. And it's a digital application. So this takes you to our consortium webpage that services all of the community colleges in our group, like Bellevue College, Whatcom, Wenatchee, Clark. So these are the instructions for how to apply. It tells you that you're going to need to attach a copy of your unofficial transcript, 2 references who are willing to provide a letter of recommendation for you. One of your references must be a teacher. So either a Green River faculty or another teacher. Could be a high school teacher, that's okay too. And then a 1-page essay explaining why you want to do the program, what you hope to get out of it. So here is the essay requirements right in the middle of the page. It tells you exactly what questions you should address in that essay.
Where is the application form?
Are you seeing my screen? Did I stop sharing my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was still sharing. Here we go. Okay. So from the Study Abroad Green River website, on the lower right corner, there's a link. And this goes to a website that's wcccsa.com. That's the Washington State Community College Consortium for Study Abroad.
On the Green River website, it said that you have to be 17 at least, but this says 18.
This one says be 18 by the start of the program. And it says, see your campus coordinator if you are younger. You may still be able to participate in certain programs. So this South Korea program does allow 17-year-olds to participate.
Okay.
Yeah, good catch. So here is the actual link to the application form. It's under step 2, online preliminary application form. So this uses JotForm. It's a secure platform. And here's the instructions again. And here you'll start selecting. So you're going to say, I want to do South Korea. You'll enter your name and you'll start putting in your contact information, and then you just progress through the next. You should be able to save your progress. If for some reason you can't finish all in one sitting, you can come back to it and finish it later. It will ask you to upload your attachments digitally. So your unofficial transcript, your essay, you'll have space to attach those. It's also at the end going to ask you a lot of questions about our rules, and I encourage you to read them very carefully because they're really important, and you don't want to get to Korea and somehow break a rule and then say, oops, I didn't realize I signed that agreement, when I applied. So make sure you read it before you initial in each spot. That's just important common practice. So there is a lot of legal liability that we do need to make sure that you're aware of when you sign up for a program like this. So that's how you apply. Once you've submitted your application, the 2 references that you list, they're going to get an automated email, and it will ask them to submit a letter of reference to your study abroad campus coordinator. Once we get those 2 letters, your study abroad campus coordinator will invite you for an interview. So we interview all of our study abroad prospective students with a list of standard questions, basically just talking about what do you think are the challenges of study abroad and how would you overcome them? And we talk about that a little more in detail. Have you ever lived with roommates? Do you think you might have any challenges with that? Things like that. So how are you going to balance the academic workload with your desire to be a tourist and explore? So those are the types of things that we talk about in the interview. Then we let you know that day or the next day if you've been accepted to the program. And from that point on, we basically consider you, an accepted student, and then you can start paying your program fees. We'll help you register for your classes. We'll help you fill out some enrollment paperwork. You're actually then going to go to the Sogong University website. They are going to ask you to fill out some application materials, but it's not to be selected or not. It's more to enroll. And then they'll ask you to pay their program fee through their website. We will have a pre-departure orientation event, like a meeting, about 1 month before you go. So sometime in May, we'd probably have like a Friday or Saturday meeting so that you can meet the other students from the Washington colleges who are going, and we'll cover safety and logistics, money, things like that, travel tips. So that's application.
Is there any way that, is there going to be like a group mate or anything in case we all have any questions, or will you just email us?
Will there be a group meeting?
Like, as in, like, if I have any questions or anything, do I have to email you directly, or can you make a group for those who are going, or how is it?
Oh, I see. Yeah. So after everybody's been accepted, yeah, we could make like a group chat. So what our students who went to Australia and New Zealand this winter did was they created a Discord server. And that was just for them to connect socially, but also to ask logistics questions. And they added me to the group. So that way I could answer the questions and everybody could see it. And that worked really well. So I'm interested in doing something like that. Is that
when we meet in person, we will get email for when we will meet, right? For the whole like
yes. So we
gathering thing.
The pre-departure orientation. Yeah. So we'll let you know by the application deadline, which is May 14th, what that pre-departure orientation in-person date is going to be. We haven't set it yet, but usually it's on a Saturday about 1 month before you go.
Okay.
And we encourage, if your parents are here locally, we encourage parents to attend if they want to. We'll also record the session We'll also make it available on Zoom if for some reason you really cannot be there in person, like if you have a family member getting married in Oregon and you just have to be there that day, you can Zoom in. But I highly recommend that people come to that meeting in person because you get to meet the other students going and start, building relationships with each other.
For my question about the kitchen and whether or not, if they do not have like a stove or a electric burner or anything of that sort, if we can bring our own.
Mhm.
When you do like find out whether or not we can bring our own or if they do provide it, could you email it to me? Because
Yes.
before I want to like apply, I want to know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Absolutely, we'll do that. Okay. I think we've covered pretty much all of the main important details that I wanted to cover in this information session. You guys have asked great questions. Do you have any other questions right now?
I do not.
Okay. Well, then we can go ahead and log off. I'll stop the recording